I need you to, like, seriously consider a terrifying question before we do literally anything else today.
Oh boy. Okay, what are we spiraling about right out of the gate?
Okay, what happens to reality television when the cast is more terrified of Reddit comment sections than they are of each other? Like, are we actively witnessing the death of authenticity in this genre?
Oh, we've been at the funeral for a while now, honestly.
Because I am officially filing for emotional bankruptcy. I mean, I physically cannot watch another grown man on my television screen aggressively weaponize his own incompetence.
It's honestly exhausting to witness.
Right, while his beautiful wife is literally holding a human infant, bouncing on one knee and just trying to eat a dry turkey sandwich.
Barely surviving, yeah.
The performative masking on this network has reached a critical toxic mass. I'm totally depleted. I need to, like, scream into a medical-grade pillow.
Well, I am prescribing you a beta blocker, a mandatory screen time limit, and perhaps a temporary restraining order against the Bravo production company.
I will take all three, thank you.
But no, I completely understand the visceral reaction. What we are watching isn't just bad behavior. It is the total collapse of the fourth wall.
Exactly.
These people are so hyper-aware of their digital footprint that they are curating their personalities in real time. And ironically, it makes them look infinitely more unhinged.
It really does. But wait, let's bring it in. Babes, turn up the volume.
Yes, turn it over.
Wherever you are right now. Like if you're in the school car line or avoiding your micromanaging boss in the break room.
Or hiding in your own pantry from your toddlers who are demanding, like, another fruit snack.
Yes. We are your inner dialogue telling you you are amazing, you are gorgeous, and babes, we love you. The Snark Squad is your safe space, babes.
Consider us the soothing, slightly sarcastic, highly analytical voice in your head that, validates every single petty observation you ever made.
We see you.
You are safe here. Close out of that spreadsheet. Let those emails sit in your drafts. It is officially time to embrace the mess.
And you already know what that means. The air just feels, I don't know, a little lighter.
The delusions are definitely getting significantly stronger.
Oh, absolutely. And the iced coffees are sweating. Babes, it's time for your weekend horoscope.
The stars are currently braced for impact, let me tell you. Let's get into the astrological damage report.
Do it. Give me the chaos.
All right, Aries. You're about to send a text you absolutely, unequivocally should not send.
Stop it. They so are.
We both know it. The universe knows it. It's going to be drafted at like 11:43 p.m. It's going to severely lack punctuation, and it's going to cause a catastrophic ripple effect of drama in your friend group.
Oh, the group chat is going to be in shambles.
Oh, totally. But you're going to look incredibly hot doing it. The cosmos are actively supporting your aesthetic, if not your long-term life choices. Send it.
Send it. We fully support a visually stunning mistake, like let the chips fall where they may.
Naturally.
Okay, Libra. Balance is completely out the window this weekend. Your scales are tipped over, they have rolled under the sofa, and they are, like, collecting dust.
So typical.
It's giving chaos, cocktails, and utter logistical confusion. You're going to aggressively agree to 3 different social plans in 3 different area codes, panic, and then cancel 2 of them at the last possible minute.
With a wildly elaborate lie about food poisoning, I assume.
Oh, obviously. And then you'll end up eating cold French fries and a rhinestone top at 2 a.m. Do not fight the tilt, Libras.
Words to live by. Okay, Gemini. The twins. The absolute menace of the zodiac.
Oh no, what are they doing?
I am predicting some severely Machiavellian behavior from you over the next 48 hours.
Always.
You are going to smile directly to someone's face, compliment their shoes, immediately screenshot their outfit to the group chat with a single skull emoji, and somehow...
Right, just one skull emoji?
Yeah.
That is lethal.
Exactly, and somehow the socio-political dynamics of your friend group are going to shift perfectly in your favor. You will secure the dinner reservation, the gossip, and the upper hand completely unscathed.
They always get away with it.
They really do. Karma is taking PTO for you this weekend, Geminis. Use this dark power recklessly.
And finally, Scorpio. Oh, my intense, brooding water signs. I am seeing a minor, yet highly publicized, emotional spiral in your immediate future.
Uh-oh. Publicly.
Highly public. Let me paint the picture. It is going to involve a sudden, violent drop in blood sugar, a crowded public sidewalk, and an ex's Instagram story that you accidentally view from your main account instead of your burner profile.
Oh, that is the ultimate tragedy, not the main account.
The absolute worst.
Yeah.
But You will eventually recover, and you will channel that slim waist energy into looking absolutely unbothered by Sunday brunch. But Saturday afternoon, it is going to be a cinematic full-body meltdown next to a parking meter.
Today, highly hydrated Scorpios, you are going to need the electrolyte replacement for the tears of rage.
Honestly, speaking of needing electrolytes, we are fresh out of the clinic today. Like, the scrubs are peeled off, the beverages are poured.
Thank God.
We are actively decompressing from our fictional, yet deeply spiritually real day jobs as corporate dentists.
The absolute trenches of oral hygiene. You have no idea the psychological warfare I have endured in the operatory today.
Oh, I bet. Let's start with the positive, though, because we need an emotional baseline before we dive into the reality TV wreckage. What was the absolute peak of your day in the clinic?
Okay, my high. Oh my gosh. I had this one patient, let's just call him Greg.
Shout out to Greg.
Greg came in for a routine composite filling. And let me tell you, Greg did not speak a single word.
A miracle.
Literally. He did not try to tell me a muffled, painfully awkward joke while I had a high-speed drill actively in his mouth. He did not flinch. He did not ask about my weekend.
It's the dream scenario.
He just laid back, completely dissociated from his physical form, and let me execute the most architecturally perfect filling of my entire career. It was like a masterpiece of modern dentistry.
Hanging in the Louvre.
I felt like Michelangelo, but working with UV-cured resin, and then he just paid his copay and left. No small talk. Just immaculate vibes.
A silent patient is the ultimate luxury. It is the rarest commodity in the medical field.
What about you? What was your high?
My high is similar, but purely driven by capitalism, honestly.
Oh, I love that for you. I managed to upsell an entirely elective, highly expensive whitening treatment to a man who absolutely did not need it.
Wait, really? How?
He walked in with the distinct, desperate energy of someone who just got dumped out of a long-term relationship and needed a drastic, immediate confidence boost.
Oh, the post-breakup glow-up panic.
Exactly. And I capitalized on his heartbreak with clinical efficiency. It felt fantastic.
You were so wrong for that.
It's just business. But the lows were cavernous today.
Oh, I know that tone. What happened in the waiting room? Give me the low.
The chaotic energy was palpable the second I walked in. We have a dental hygienist, and I will keep her strictly anonymous to protect her from medical board inquiries, who has recently decided that she is now a holistic crystal healer on the side.
No. Stop. In a dental office.
I walked into room 3 and caught her trying to place a massive, jagged piece of raw rose quartz directly onto a patient's chest during a routine plaque scraping.
Are you joking right now? Raw rose quartz.
It's not polished, jagged. She told the patient she was trying to, quote, align their heart chakra to reduce gum inflammation.
I cannot breathe. Gum inflammation.
The patient looked like they were being held hostage. I had to physically intervene and remind her that we are a corporately mandated, heavily insured dental facility, not a wellness retreat in Sedona. The physical exhaustion of managing the delusions of my staff is prematurely aging my cells, I swear to you.
Not the rose quartz in the operatory. That is a massive liability. Like, I cannot handle that.
It was a lot.
My low was just the sheer physical toll. Like, bending over these chairs, craning my neck to see a molar in my spine is permanently shaped like a cashew right now.
Ergonomics are a myth.
They really are. But you know what requires even more mental gymnastics than dealing with crystal-wielding hygienists?
I feel a philosophical pivot coming.
Babes, we need to have a very serious conversation about LinkedIn.
Oh, God. The deepest, darkest, most deeply unsettling corner of the modern internet.
Look, we fully support ambition on this show. We love a career milestone. We love to see the Snark squad thriving, securing promotions, climbing the corporate ladder, maxing out their 401ks.
We celebrate it all.
But why, in the year of our Lord, are we writing literal, multi-chapter novels on LinkedIn?
The performative corporate self has mutated into a monster. It really has. Let me set the scene for you.
Please do.
I'm sitting at my desk, eating a sad desk temperature salad between patients.
Classic.
A colleague from dental school, someone I haven't spoken to in like 6 years, requests to connect. I accept, purely out of professional courtesy.
Naturally.
I click on their profile, and what I found was a digital assault. It was a 10-paragraph saga about attending a mid-tier regional dental conference in a windowless ballroom in Ohio.
Wait. Let me guess the phrasing. It wasn't just like, hey, I went to a conference and learned about some new drill bits.
Oh, absolutely not. It was framed as a, quote, transformative journey of synergistic molar extraction.
Shut up. Synergistic molar extraction.
It gets worse. It was a deeply emotional essay about leveraging paradigm-shifting paradigms in the bicuspid space. It was basically an epic poem about networking at a Holiday Inn Express.
Babes, why are we writing novels on LinkedIn? Like, it is giving absolute main character, but in the most depressing corporate dentist way
This
possible.
main character of the conference room.
The dramatic career storytelling is completely out of control. I saw one yesterday that literally said, "Today, I looked a cavity in the eye and the cavity blinked first."
No, they didn't.
Yes. Like, calm down. You performed a routine root canal. You didn't cure a global crisis. Why are we doing this?
Let's actually analyze the why, though, because it's fascinating. It's the desperate commodification of the self.
Right?
In a market where everyone has a degree, people feel this overwhelming pressure to brand their existence. It's that thought leader energy.
Ugh, thought leaders.
Every single mundane task is suddenly retrofitted into an opportunity for a profound philosophical reflection on leadership. Like, I dropped my pen today. It taught me resilience. Here are 5 things dropping office supplies can teach you about B2B sales agility.
That is so accurate, it hurts.
It is arguably more toxic than Instagram.
Wait, I love that point. Let's push on that. Why is it more toxic than Instagram? Because on Instagram, we expect the performance,
Okay,
right?
but
We know the vacation photos are edited. We know the lighting is filtered. We're all in on the joke.
Instagram is understood to be a fantasy. We all agree on the rules of the illusion. But on LinkedIn, the performance is dressed up in a blazer and masquerading as authentic, necessary professional development.
Ooh, yes.
It is performative ambition weaponized as networking.
Yeah.
You are forced to participate in this collective hallucination where everyone is violently agreeing with each other using the word synergy.
Because if you don't, you might miss a job opportunity.
Exactly. It's exhausting to read, and yet, honestly, I spiral into these comment sections for hours.
It is a trap, and it brings out the absolute worst in people, which actually perfectly transitions us into something we absolutely have to address today.
Oh, yes. The comment.
Shout out to a listener named Kate, who slid into our comments this week with a very pointed question. Kate asked, "Hey guys, what is your toxic trait?"
Kate waking up and choosing absolute violence today.
She really did.
But, we respect the journalistic integrity of the question.
We hold reality stars accountable every single week, so we have to hold ourselves accountable. I'll go first, and I will be brutally honest.
This should be good.
My toxic trait is highly emotional, highly chaotic, and deeply manipulative.
I am taking notes. Proceed.
Okay, so if I get pulled over, or if I find a meter maid writing me a parking ticket, I will instantly start crying to try and get out of it.
That is a classic maneuver.
But here's the deeply toxic part. I'm an empathetic crier. So I start out fake crying to manipulate the situation, but then I overwhelm my own nervous system with the fake emotion, and I end up actually genuinely, hysterically sobbing.
Oh my God. You trick yourself.
Yes, to the point where the police officer or the meter maid ends up awkwardly consoling me, handing me tissues and telling me everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I essentially hijack their day with my emotional dysregulation.
That is legitimately terrifying. You weaponize your own emotional instability to evade municipal fines.
I do. I can't help it.
It's highly effective, but it's very dark.
I know. It's terrible, but it works.
Okay.
Your turn. I need the calculated, cold-hearted truth.
Oh.
What is your toxic trait?
Well, my toxic trait is much quieter. It operates in the shadows.
Of course it does.
It is silent psychological warfare. If someone annoys me or sends me a text with a passive-aggressive attitude, I absolutely do not engage in a fight.
You never yell?
Never. I refuse to give them the satisfaction of a reaction. Instead, I simply open their contact card and I turn my read receipts on.
Wait.
Specifically for them, and then I read their message. And I do not reply.
Oh my God.
I let them stare at the word read, accompanied by the exact unforgiving timestamp of their dismissal. I leave it there for hours, sometimes for 3 business days.
3 business days.
I let them marinate in the agonizing silence of knowing I have fully perceived their message and actively decided that they are unworthy of my time.
Oh my God. You are a monster.
It is remarkably efficient.
That is so incredibly petty. You are trapping them in a digital purgatory.
It requires absolutely 0 emotional energy from me, and it inflicts maximum mental torture on the recipient.
I am terrified of you.
But let's look at the meta layer here, right? Does self-awareness of a toxic trait excuse the behavior?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, are toxic traits ever actually funny? Or are we just masking our severe character flaws with self-deprecating humor so people don't hold us accountable?
I think if you can laugh at it, and it's not genuinely ruining someone's actual life,
Yeah.
it's a little funny.
Just a little light psychological twirl.
Exactly. We all have one. Let's be real. Anyone who says they don't have a toxic trait is lying. And that lying is their toxic trait.
Highly agree.
Denial is the least entertaining toxic trait to have. At least give me some chaotic crying or read receipt warfare.
Fair point. Acknowledgement is the first step, even if we refuse to take the second step of actually changing.
We're not changing.
No, absolutely not. Speaking of things we are currently utilizing to self-medicate and deal with our toxic traits, what is in the glass tonight?
Oh, babes. I am holding a massive, sweating, glorious glass of peach sangria.
I can see the condensation from here.
It is summery. It is an absolute vibe, and we are thriving. The condensation dripping down this glass alone is giving me life right now.
The color of that beverage is aggressively vibrant. Like, it looks like radioactive liquid sunset.
It really does.
What exactly is the flavor profile? Are we talking a sophisticated, balanced, dry fruit infusion, or are we talking about a sugary synthetic headache in a glass?
Oh, it is absolutely the latter, and I am not apologizing for a single drop of it.
I figured.
It is the cheapest Pinot Grigio I could find at the grocery store. An incredibly irresponsible amount of peach schnapps. Fresh-cut peaches that have been soaking up the alcohol since, like, 11 a.m.
Good Lord.
And a tiny splash of club soda just to trick my brain into thinking I am hydrating. It tastes exactly like the delusion of an upcoming weekend.
That sounds potent.
It tastes like believing I can survive an hour of reality TV analysis without screaming. It is officially the drink of the summer.
Well, I will argue from a purely biochemical standpoint that anything heavily reliant on peach schnapps is a one-way ticket to a Sunday morning hangover that feels like a spiritual reckoning.
Worth it.
Schnapps is essentially flavored syrup and regret, but for the sake of our collective sanity as we transition into the unmitigated mess of this week's television, I will allow the coping mechanism. Cheers to the sangria buzz. We're going to need every single ounce of it.
Cheers. Because the sangria buzz is about to collide violently with the absolute hangover that is this week's recap of The Valley.
It really is a hangover.
Season 3, Episode 6, appropriately titled All Aboard. And let me tell you, I want to pull the emergency brake and get off this train immediately.
The mission for today is extensive. We are breaking down the disastrous San Diego cast trip, the total catastrophic crumbling of Danny Booko's public reputation, the shifting sands of these performative reality TV friendships, and the sheer breathtaking delusion of this entire cast.
There's so much.
Pace yourself.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning with Part 1, The Best Friends Express and Kristen's Meltdown.
A very chaotic start.
The setup is simple, right? The group is heading down to San Diego for a trip. But Lacey Nicole opts to drive completely separately from Newport because she outright refuses to be trapped in a confined space with Janet's mean girl mentality.
We have to pause the narrative right here to applaud Lacey, like a standing ovation for Lacey Nicole.
Yes.
In the bizarre economy of reality television, screen time is currency. To get screen time, you have to force yourself into incredibly toxic environments and engage in conflict.
You have to ride the train.
Right. Lacey looked at the logistical reality of sitting next to Janet, weighed it against the screen time she would lose, and said absolutely not.
She chose peace.
My mental health is worth more. I am driving myself in my own vehicle, in silence, with my own podcasts. She is actively avoiding that insidious HOA fee screenshotting energy that Janet brings to every single room. It is the single healthiest boundary I've ever witnessed on this network.
It is so refreshing. Because Janet is, well, we get on the train, and Janet is aggressively, and I mean aggressively, trying to be besties with Zack again.
A lot to watch.
They literally just had a tentative, highly fragile truce last episode, and suddenly she is planning his birthday party. She is jokingly offering her literal uterus to carry his and his boyfriend Benji's future child.
Which is a huge escalation.
Insane escalation. And she turns to Jesse and proudly announces that she and Zack are best friends.
Okay, let me push back on how we are interpreting Janet here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because a lot of people online are saying she's delusional. I disagree entirely.
You don't think she's Delulu?
I don't think Janet is delusional for a single second. I think she is operating with ruthless, calculated efficiency. She knows exactly what the cameras need.
Wait, so you don't think she actually believes they're best friends?
Of course not. Look at the mechanics of the show. Janet took a massive hit to her popularity earlier in the season.
True, everyone was mad at her.
Right. Zack, conversely, is a fan favorite. Janet is executing a hostile takeover of a storyline.
Oh my God.
By offering her uterus, which is an astronomical escalation of a casual friendship, she is forcing a deeply intimate bond on camera that Zack cannot politely reject without looking like a jerk.
Oh.
She is tethering her sinking ship to his rising star.
Oh my God, you are so right. It is a hostage situation.
Yeah.
And Zack looks like a deer caught in the headlights.
He is physically stiff in that seat.
He really is. But the real danger isn't Janet, actually. It's who is watching this unfold. Because the camera immediately cuts to Kristen Doute.
The eye of the storm.
And Zack literally says in his confessional, "I can feel Kristen's death stare like the eye of Sauron on the side, just staring directly at me into my soul."
It is the most accurate pop culture reference Zack has ever made.
It's perfect.
Kristen is vibrating with a very specific territorial rage. She pulls Zack aside later and delivers a monologue that sounds like a mafia enforcer.
Yes.
She says, quote, "Say what you mean and mean what you say. Your conversation with me yesterday was the polar opposite of this. I told you there's consequences for all your choices and repercussions for your actions."
It was terrifying. She sounded like a mob boss threatening a mid-level associate. Like, there will be consequences for your choices, Zachary.
Very Vito Corleone.
But why is she this mad? Because Janet used to be her best friend. Janet knows all the bodies buried in Kristen's backyard.
Let's dig deeper into the why of Kristen's reaction, though, because if you look at the forums, the Snark squad is analyzing this brilliantly.
They really are on it this week.
They are pointing out that Kristen's rage isn't actually about Zack being a hypocrite. Kristen appears to be drowning in postpartum struggles. She is isolated, she is exhausted, and she spent this entire season trying to curate a new, rehabbed Zen mom in the valley image.
Yes, she wants to prove she isn't the chaotic, crazy Kristen from her Vanderpump Rules days.
Exactly.
But Janet knows the real Kristen. Janet threatens that new persona just by existing in the group. So Kristen's absolute terror at Janet worming her way back in feels less about loyalty to Zack and much more about a frantic, desperate need to control the narrative.
That's spot on.
If Zack defects to Janet's side, Kristen loses her only loyal soldier, and she's left completely exposed.
Exactly. It's an alliance shift. It's purely a numbers game, like Survivor.
Completely.
But while Kristen is attempting to control the political optics in one house, we have a much, much darker, deeply systemic issue unfolding in the other house.
Oh boy, here we go.
Which brings us to the magnum opus of this episode, part 2, the fall of Danny Booko.
I have to take a deep, stabilizing breath before we talk about this. I am going to need another massive sip of this sangria.
Drink up. You'll need it.
This did not feel like reality TV drama. This felt like a psychological horror movie. We are watching the real-time, catastrophic disintegration of the Mr. Mom edit.
Let's lay out the evidence chronologically. The transition from Janet's performative friendship to Danny calling his own wife performative is staggering.
It gave me whiplash.
Let's start on the train. Nia is sitting there simply trying to eat a sandwich. A basic, fundamental human need for caloric intake.
She just wanted a bite.
She is also trying to bounce, soothe, and manage baby Adelaide at the exact same time. She asks Danny, her husband, the father of the child, to hold the baby for just a second so she can chew her food.
A completely reasonable request.
His response: he visibly rolls his eyes, gets irritated, and announces he's going to walk away to get a coffee. He actively leaves her struggling.
My rage, the heat that radiated through my body for Nia.
It was infuriating.
And the editors, who deserve an Emmy for their petty brilliance, by the way, made sure to intercut shots of Danny getting a literal shoulder massage from Luke in the next train car, while Nia is still struggling with the baby and the sandwich.
The editing was ruthless.
And it doesn't stop there. They get to the rental house in San Diego, and it's time to put the baby down for a nap. Danny comes out of the bedroom, aggressively angry, complaining about having to do it, and demands a swaddle from Nia.
The audacity.
He acts like a petulant teenager who was just asked to take out the trash, not a father caring for his own offspring.
Let's break down the exact mechanism of what he is doing here. This is textbook weaponized incompetence. The forums are absolutely lighting him up. Reddit users are calling him an energy vampire. They are calling it tiny man syndrome.
I saw that.
And the most devastating, hilariously accurate comparison of all: They are calling him Snack Jacks. He is a pocket-sized travel version of Jax Taylor.
Snack Jacks is the funniest and most tragic thing I have ever read, because it's completely true.
It really is.
Think about season 1. Danny was given this golden edit. He had this carefully curated Instagram image of the perfect evangelical dad who loudly proclaimed he wanted 4 kids under 4.
He wouldn't shut up about it.
He wanted this massive family to pass on his incredible legacy. But what we are seeing now is that he wanted the idea of a family. He wanted the matching Christmas pajamas photo op.
The aesthetic of fatherhood.
Exactly. When it comes to the actual grueling, minute-by-minute, unglamorous labor of parenting, he wants absolutely nothing to do with it.
The mask hasn't just slipped. It is shattered on the floor. He explicitly says in his confessional, quote, "I'm wondering why Nia has put me in this situation when we have a babysitter."
I couldn't believe he said that out loud.
Listen to that phrasing. He genuinely views taking care of his own daughter as an unfortunate situation that his wife put him in.
Like it's a trap.
He cannot fathom why he is required to execute basic parental duties when a hired hand is on the premises. But what's truly fascinating and deeply disturbing is the escalation that happens at Belmont Park.
Oh, the roller coaster incident. This was so hard to watch.
Oh, it was bleak.
They finally get some alone time away from all 4 kids. They go to the amusement park. Nia is thrilled. She is desperate to connect with her husband.
She's glowing initially.
She is smiling. She is bubbly. She is telling him how excited she is to just be with him. And Danny drains the literal life out of the screen. He looks at his smiling wife and tells her she's being performative.
The projection is wild.
Then he complains about her frizzy hair, who insults their wife's hair when she is actively dealing with postpartum hair loss, raising 4 infants, and just trying to have a fun romantic date.
It is a calculated dismantling of her joy. He is punishing her for being happy when he is miserable.
Yes.
And then we get the absolute kicker. After criticizing her excitement, after actively mocking her physical appearance, he suddenly perks up and mentions that he expects to have sex with her later that night.
I gagged.
The sheer audacity is breathtaking. He treats her with open contempt, refuses to help her eat or parent, mocks her joy, and then views her physical body as a transactional reward he is entitled to at the end of the day.
The comments on Reddit were visceral. Women were furious.
Rightfully so.
One user wrote, "I had a baby in August. I still don't feel myself." Sex isn't a prize for putting up with your bad mood. Don't make it seem like an incentive.
That's a great point.
Another user pointed out that Nia actually had to tamp down her own excitement, visibly dimming her own light, just to appease his miserable dark cloud of a mood. They are completely disgusted.
It raises a vital question about how reality TV portrays fatherhood. Danny season 1 was the contrast to the typical Bravo villain, right?
He was supposed to be the good guy.
But what we are seeing is that covert mistreatment, the constant heavy sighing, the eye rolling, the absolute refusal to take on any mental load chips away at a partner's sanity just as effectively as overt screaming.
It's death by 1,000 sighs.
The psychology here is fascinating. People online are calling him a dry drunk.
Wait, explain that concept for anyone who might not know, because it came up a lot in the threads. What exactly makes him a dry drunk?
So, the term dry drunk is historically used in addiction recovery circles. It describes someone who has stopped consuming alcohol or substances, but has not done the internal psychological work to address the underlying emotional dysregulation that caused the drinking in the first place.
Okay, that makes sense.
They have all the behavioral toxicity, the resentment, the irritability, the narcissism, the emotional volatility, without the substance to blame it on. Danny can't drink freely like he used to. He is suffocating under the logistical reality of having 4 toddlers, and instead of processing that stress, he is making absolutely sure that Nia is just as miserable as he is.
He is a dry drunk. He is just a bitter, resentful man who is furious that his life isn't a permanent frat party anymore.
That's exactly it.
And Nia is so beautiful. She is so deeply sweet. She has the patience of a literal saint. But watching her constantly soothe him like he's her 5th largest, most difficult child breaks my heart. She's completely brood-trapped.
It is a grim dynamic. But speaking of terrible men who refuse to grow up...
Oh, please tell me we're moving on.
Let's seamlessly transition from a terrible husband to a terrible boyfriend. Part 3, Kiana's sunglasses and the Schwartz of it all.
Oh my God, Tom Schwartz. I cannot with this man. We finally meet the new girl.
The grand reveal.
Schwartz introduces his new girlfriend, Kiana, to the group at brunch. For context, she is a 27-year-old model who lives in New York.
Right.
And she wore her heavily tinted sunglasses inside TomTom the entire time they were filming.
The visual was completely absurd. Tom is famously a dark, dimly lit bar.
You can't see anything in there on a good day.
She is sitting in a booth in pitch black shades, giving these limp, unenthusiastic, dead fish handshakes to Schwartz's friends.
Yeah, it's so awkward.
A Reddit user perfectly summarized the vibe of that introduction. They compared her to an alien trying to blend in with humanity. Like, what is up, my fellow humans? I, too, enjoy brunch and consuming human beverages through my oral cavity.
It was so deeply pretentious. And Schwartz is doing his classic signature routine.
Oh, the routine.
The aw shucks, I'm just a lost little puppy dog who miraculously stumbled into love act. He's talking about how peaceful he is, how he hasn't felt this calm in years, how he doesn't want to jinx this fragile, beautiful thing. He's repeating the exact same patterns we saw for a decade on Vanderpump Rules.
Let's analyze the pattern, though. What is the Schwartz mechanism?
He always finds a strong, dominant personality like Katie Maloney, or in this case, a youthful, trendy, highly curated aesthetic, and he hides behind it.
It's a shield.
He uses his partners as human shields to mask his own toxic traits and avoid taking any real accountability for his life.
E is an emotional vampire of a completely different sort than Danny. Schwartz feeds on youth to maintain his Peter Pan syndrome.
Yes.
The age gap between them is glaring, but not just in chronological years. It's glaring in maturity and life stage, and honestly, it's glaring physically.
Oh, don't even get me started on the physical part.
Schwartz looks exhausted. The forums were absolutely ruthless about his physical appearance in his confessionals. Someone wrote, "The bags under Tom Schwartz's eyes in that interview look like they could comfortably carry $200 worth of groceries."
I shrieked when I read that.
It's very descriptive.
It's so unbelievably mean, but it's so anatomically accurate. He looks like the lost, shriveled potato you find at the very back of your pantry after 3 months.
A very apt comparison.
And he's sitting next to this 27-year-old Instagram model who is so clearly just there for the camera time. Lala even pointed it out in the episode. She explicitly said Kiana's probably doing whatever she wants in New York while Schwartz is pining for her in L.A.
Let me challenge you on that, though. Do you really think Kiana is just using him purely for the cameras in a calculated way? Or is there a genuine connection built on a mutual foundation of delusion?
Oh, I don't think it's mutual at all. I think she's absolutely using him. Look at the landscape of reality TV.
Okay, lay it out.
She wants to be an influencer. She clearly wants to cross over onto the Bravo network. And Tom Schwartz is the easiest, most gullible mark in West Hollywood.
Well, statistically speaking, yes.
He is desperate for validation from young women to prove he still got it. And the fact that she refused to take off her sunglasses indoors, that is the ultimate proof.
Why? Break down the psychology of the sunglasses indoors for me.
Because it creates a physical and emotional barrier. She isn't there to actually connect with his friends. She knows she is out of her depth with a table full of 40-something reality TV veterans who can smell fear.
They absolutely can.
The sunglasses allow her to observe the group, hit her marks, and curate an aloof, cool girl image without her micro-expressions betraying the fact that she is panicking or bored. It's an aesthetic shield.
That is an excellent read. She is hyper aware of her aesthetic and curating an image rather than engaging in the messy reality of the show.
Exactly.
Which brings us perfectly to the reigning queen of curating an image and aggressive policing. Let's move to part 4, Room Wars and Lala's main character syndrome.
Here we go.
The group arrives at the massive San Diego rental house, and we are treated to the most classic, low-stakes reality TV trope in existence. The sprint for the best bedroom.
Jesse literally takes off running through the foyer. He claims the master bedroom with the massive spa-like bathtub.
Naturally.
He does not care for a single second that it is technically Michelle's trip. He does not care about the optics. He does not care who is mad at him. He is unapologetically, gleefully a diva.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the fans are actually enjoying his behavior right now.
It's refreshing in a way.
Because at least Jesse owns his villainy.
Jesse is a highly functional, straightforward antagonist. You know exactly what you're getting with him. He operates purely on self-interest.
What you see is what you get.
But then Lala steps into the frame. Lala immediately confronts him in the doorway, pointing her finger, getting physically aggressive, and barking, "This is Michelle's trip. We're taking this room."
So aggressive.
Jesse, completely unbothered by her theatrics, just smiles and refuses to leave.
Lala was giving absolute Mother Marks energy from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Totally.
She thinks she's the powerful matriarch of this group. She thinks she can just demand respect and obedience through sheer volume. But let's look at the facts. She just got here.
Literally.
She is a guest star. She is not part of this core historical friend group.
This specific incident sparked a massive, highly analytical spiral on Reddit. There is currently an entire, highly upvoted thread titled, "Lala gives absolutely nothing to the show."
Oh, I read the whole thing.
The audience is evolving. They are seeing right through her mechanics. They are calling her a producer puppet.
Explain the producer puppet concept, because I think it perfectly defines what is wrong with Lala right now.
For those unfamiliar with the meta mechanics of reality TV, a producer puppet is a cast member who essentially operates as an employee for the behind-the-scenes producers.
They're doing the dirty work.
Right. The producers need conflict to drive the episode, but genuine conflict is hard to guarantee. So they rely on a cast member like Lala, who understands the assignment, to artificially start the fights the producers want, like a fight over a bathtub, without that cast member ever having to expose their own genuine life or vulnerabilities.
It's so fake.
Lala acts like the immune system of the show. The minute a genuine, messy emotion enters the group, she attacks it with manufactured, scripted aggression to create a spectacle and protect her own screen time while keeping her actual personal life locked in a vault.
Yes, the audience is too smart for this now. They pointed out the glaring hypocrisy. Lala spent the entire last season trying to annihilate Ariana on Vanderpump Rules, screaming that Ariana wasn't sharing her real life on camera.
The irony is thick.
But what exactly is Lala sharing? Absolutely nothing. She brings this rehearsed aggression, but she completely hides her actual messy reality.
Exactly. Where is the on-camera discussion about the incredibly messy Randall-Emmett custody battle?
Nowhere to be found.
Where is the transparency about the fact that her mother allegedly paid for her massive new Utah-style house? Why is she aggressively policing Jesse's trivial bedroom choice when she absolutely refuses to show her own life?
It is the absolute pinnacle of performative reality TV. She's a real person on this show. She is delivering pre-written catchphrases.
It's acting.
She is playing a hardened character she created 5 years ago, and it feels so hollow, which makes the contrast with the final segment of the episode so incredibly stark and necessary.
It really was a sharp pivot.
Let's look at part 5. A rare, genuine moment.
This was the tonal shift the episode desperately needed to survive.
It actually made me tear up, and I am not an easy crier when it comes to Bravo.
I know you're not.
We pivot completely away from the ridiculous performative aggression of the room draft to this quiet, beautifully shot, incredibly vulnerable moment on the beach between Michelle and Lala. Michelle opens up, for the first time really, about losing her mother just 6 months prior to filming.
We have to acknowledge that timeline. 6 months is no time at all when it comes to profound, life-altering grief.
None at all.
She is still in the absolute thick of the trauma. Michelle talks about feeling her mother's presence vividly in her dreams, about looking out at the ocean and feeling this deep spiritual connection to her. She talks about losing her absolute ride or die.
It was so sad.
And Lala, to her credit, actually drops the tough girl persona for a minute. She stops producing the scene, and she genuinely connects with Michelle over the shared trauma of losing her own father.
It was so profoundly grounding. Because I'll be totally honest with the Snark Squad, I have not been a huge fan of Michelle up until this point.
She's been very hard to read.
She has always seemed so icy, so cold, and so detached from everyone around her. But hearing about her childhood, hearing about this massive gaping hole in her life, it provides so much vital context for her behavior.
It reframes everything.
It makes her feel like a three-dimensional human being. You finally see this lighter, softer side of her now that she's post-divorce and actively processing this grief instead of just pretending everything is fine.
It acts as an emotional anchor for the entire series. We desperately needed that anchor.
We did.
Because when you contrast the real devastating life and death stakes of losing a parent with Danny Booko whining about having to swaddle his own baby, or Kiana hiding behind designer sunglasses because she's intimidated by brunch, it highlights exactly how absurd and petty the rest of the drama really is.
It puts it all in perspective.
It reminds the audience that beneath the curated Instagram lives and the manufactured squabbles, there is actual, relatable human pain.
It really does. It was a beautiful moment of television, and I genuinely hope we see more of this authentic, unmasked Michelle.
Agreed.
And honestly, I hope Nia sees Michelle thriving and healing post-divorce and takes some serious notes on what life can look like on the other side. Just saying.
That is the collective hope of the internet right now. Now, let's transition into our structured chaos. It is time for our segments.
Let's do it.
First up, the Weekend Behavior Awards. The prompt is simple and direct. Based strictly on the psychological profiles we observed in this episode, who is most likely to completely spiral off camera this weekend?
I mean, this isn't even a competition. We both know the answer to this.
Oh, clearly.
The award goes to Danny Booko. Hands down, no contest, take the trophy.
Let's extrapolate on that, though. Predict what his off-camera spiral actually looks like. What happens on a random Saturday when the cameras pack up, the producers go home, and he is left alone in that house with 4 children under the age of 4?
Oh, it is a dark, dark scene. The spiral officially initiates the second the nanny clocks out for the weekend.
The panic sets in.
He realizes, with creeping horror, that he actually has to warm up a bottle of milk. He paces around the kitchen island, aggressively sighing, so Nia can hear how stressed he is.
Very loud sighs.
He attempts to put the twins to bed, but because he has never bothered to learn their specific routine, they scream for an unbroken hour. He immediately blames Nia for not leaving a detailed, color-coded, laminated manual.
Naturally, it's her fault.
Defeated, he retreats to the garage, drinks 3 heavy IPAs in rapid succession, and aggressively scrolls through his old IMDb page from 2008, muttering to himself about his legacy and how much he sacrificed. It is a spiral of profound, unearned resentment.
That is a chillingly accurate, highly probable prediction. He is the undisputed king of the science stomp.
Truly.
Moving on to segment 2, friend or frenemy. We need to break down the shifting alliances, specifically focusing on this bizarre, highly volatile Zack, Janet, and Kristen triangle. Let's analyze the game board. Who is actually playing who?
Okay, here is my overarching read on the politics of this group. Zack is absolutely playing both sides, but he is doing it purely out of self-preservation, not malice.
He's just trying to survive.
He is terrified of Kristen's wrath. But he also doesn't want to deal with Janet's constant, exhausting plotting. Kristen is acting like a mob boss trying to keep her territory secure, but the ultimate frenemy, the absolute mastermind of chaos, who is pulling the strings? It is Janet.
I agree with that assessment. The verdict is Janet. But let's debate her intent. Is she a strategic reality TV genius, or is she just desperate for a storyline and throwing things at the wall to see what sticks?
That's a good question.
I lean towards desperation masking as strategy. She knows her audience approval ratings are in the basement right now.
They are subterranean.
Offering your uterus to carry a child for someone you were just viciously feuding with a week ago? That is not an organic evolution of a friendship. That is a hostile takeover of a storyline to secure a contract for next season.
Hostile takeover of a storyline. Yes, that is exactly what it is. She is trying to buy equity in Zack's popularity.
Precisely.
Okay, segment 3. Main character energy check. The prompt is, who thinks they're the main character in this ensemble, and who actually is?
Well, Kiana wearing sunglasses inside Tom clearly, desperately thinks she is the main character.
She really does.
She fundamentally believes she is giving effortless, mysterious, cool girl mystique. She believes the camera is naturally drawn to her enigmatic presence.
Delusional.
But in reality, to the viewer, she just looks like she has a severe astigmatism and forgot to pack her prescription glasses. It's embarrassing.
She is giving background extra who accidentally walked into the main shot and doesn't know what to do with her hands.
Totally.
But who actually has main character energy? Honestly. It pains me to admit this.
Yeah.
But it's Jesse.
Jesse physically fighting for the master bedroom actually is giving main character energy because he entirely enthusiastically owns his villainy.
He loves it.
He is not pretending to be a suffering martyr like Danny. He is not hiding behind a righteous cause or a fake apology. He just wants the big bathtub. He believes he deserves the big bathtub, and he does not care who is emotionally damaged by his pursuit of the big bathtub.
He does not care at all.
Reality TV requires a certain level of unabashed narcissism to function properly, and Jesse delivers it without a single apology.
He really does.
Yeah.
He is the villain we need, so we don't have to focus entirely on the dark, depressing villain we actually have, which is Danny.
Good point.
Okay, final segment. What would we do? We are mentally inserting ourselves into the drama to make chaotic decisions. Let's go all the way back to the train car.
The sandwich incident.
The infamous sandwich.
Danny refuses to let Nia eat her turkey sandwich, rolls his eyes, and walks away to get coffee. You are sitting directly across the aisle from them. What do you do in that exact moment?
Well, I am a man of science, precision, and petty vengeance.
I know you are.
I would not yell. I would have calmly reached over, gently taken the baby from Nia's arms so she could eat. Then I would have waited.
Oh, no.
When Danny returned down the aisle with his fresh cup of coffee, I would have locked eyes with him. maintained unbroken, unblinking, predatory eye contact.
And while staring directly into his soul, I would have slowly, deliberately poured his hot coffee directly onto the carpeted floor of the train. No words, no explanation, just a pure, silent dominance display. Let him clean it up.
Oh my God, the cold-blooded, terrifying efficiency of that, I love it.
Thank you.
I would have been way more physically chaotic. I would have taken the sandwich from Nia, I would have taken the baby, secured them both safely, and then I would have stood up, marched down the aisle, and physically shoved Danny off the moving train directly into the San Diego desert.
Just out the doors.
Just rolled him right out the sliding doors into the tumbleweeds and the cacti. Like, go find your legacy in the sand, Danny. Walk home.
Aggressive, highly illegal, a definite felony in the state of California, but emotionally deeply satisfying, a completely fitting response to his behavioral crimes.
Babes, this episode took literal years off my life and spiked my cortisol, but talking through it with you and the Snark Squad always brings me back to baseline. Thank you to the Snark Squad for hanging out with us, drinking aggressive amounts of peach sangria, and surviving the absolute mess of this week's television.
We genuinely appreciate you holding space for our rage, our deep psychological dives into D-list celebrities, and our wildly specific corporate dentist analogies.
We love you for it.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening to right now. It feeds the algorithm, which in turn financially feeds our delusion. And be sure to share this exact episode with a messy friend who also fundamentally hates Danny Booko.
Before we go, we want to leave you with a final, broader thought to mull over this weekend as you sip your chaotic cocktails and send those risky Aries texts.
Something to think about.
Think about the evolution of what we just watched. If reality TV was originally built on authentic, organic friendships and real, unscripted drama, think early days of Real Housewives or Jersey Shore. What actually happens to the genre when the entire cast is so hyper-aware of Reddit threads, public opinion, and producer edits that they aggressively try to curate their image in real time?
Like Danny attempting to hide his simmering anger behind a good dad edit and failing spectacularly. Or Lala hiding her very real, very messy legal life to protect her brand sponsorships.
Exactly.
Or Kristen terrified of Janet ruining her newly rehabbed Zen mom image. Are we watching the slow, painful death of the reality in reality TV?
It's a real question.
Are we no longer watching human behavior, but rather just watching influencers perform a script they frantically row in their own heads to avoid being canceled?
It is a terrifying thought for those of us who love the mess. Chew on that while you navigate your weekend.
Yeah.
Stay chaotic, stay glowing, and we will see you on the Snark side.